Hello and welcome to a special edition of Tech Week in View on Megawatt TV, where it's all about mobile phones this week. We've just come back from Barcelona and the Mobile World Congress. Stay tuned to find out more. With hundreds rather than tens of product announcements at Mobile World Congress, there was plenty on offer to grab our attention. But what did we find the most exciting handsets around? Well, if you're a camera user, probably the Nokia N86 looks like it might do the stuff for you. 8 megapixel camera phone from Nokia, so they've seen a megapixel increase there. But it was also the lens stuff that impressed us the most. Carl Zeiss, an f-stop of 2.4 to 4.8, mechanical shutter, wide-angle lens, an LED flash, and certainly some interesting, elements to make it just a better camera all round. And the A3 printouts that we saw weren't fantastically amazing, but they were pretty good considering it came from a camera phone. Elsewhere, you had the HTC Magic. Now, this is the G2, as everybody on the show floor was calling it, and that's an Android handset that's going to be available in the spring from Vodafone. It ditches the QWERTY keyboard that make the G1 so bulky and gives it a touchscreen interface, obviously with the Android, and so anybody who's familiar with that, cupcake is the magic word there, so you get to do it on screen. Other than that, there was LG with its Arena and the S-Class interface. Basically think iPhone, but 3D. Yes, I'm sure the lawsuit is on its way anytime soon. It looked good, it has some good quality, all the general stats, HSDPA, Wi-Fi, GPS, DivX support, etc., etc. But it actually looked like a really interesting and nice handset to use, and certainly very responsive to our touch. In fact, LG say they have a dedicated chip just for that element. Other than that, Samsung's Omnia HD showed that, well, things are going high def. You could watch 720p footage, you could record 720p footage, and if that wasn't enough, you could wirelessly stream 720p footage to a nearby DLNA-enabled television. Finally, for those of you who like to get a bit rugged, there was the iMate 810F, a phone that comes with a lifetime guarantee, and as you probably see from one of our other videos, capable of resisting orange juice, ketchup, salt, well, pretty much anything you could throw at it. And you can check out all our dedicated first looks of all these handsets from the show on megawatt.tv. We came, we saw, well, actually we didn't see everything. No, we haven't been bad journalists and just not bothered to film certain things, just they weren't there. So let's start with who wasn't there to begin with. Well, Apple and the iPhone. There was no new iPhone. We weren't expecting a new iPhone, to be honest, but Apple's always shunned Mobile World Congress, deciding instead to launch stuff in June. So hopefully we might see a new Apple iPhone in June. Rumours suggest that we might, but hey, they're just, crazy internet rumours at the moment with no confirmation of anything. So let's just get past that one very quickly. Also at the show, actually had massive stands, obviously spent quite a lot of money, were RIM, makers of BlackBerry, and Motorola. Except neither of them were launching new handsets. RIM was focusing on the application store, which is due to launch in March, and Moto just had a blinged out Moto Aura for £5,000. £5,000! But no new product. Promising instead an Android handset to come sometime this year, but they wouldn't confirm to us when. And all their efforts were being put into that, which leads us nicely to the fact that we were expecting a lot more Android handsets at the show. I mean, Samsung pulled out, confirmed rumours that they wouldn't be showing an Android handset at Mobile World Congress this year just before it started. But then we were expecting something from LG, we were expecting, lots. I was expecting it to be Android City, to be honest, with, couldn't get away from the open source operating system. But as it turns out, there was just one. The HTC Magic, available on Vodafone in the spring. I think that means April. Which, does it mean it's just a bit of a slow starter? Forget the serious stuff that was announced at the show. There's plenty of bonkers stuff as well, but the one that caught our eye the most was the Hyundai stand. Yes, it seems that they don't just make cars anymore, but they make mobile phones. What we're hoping to as they crack into the market later in the year. So what do they have that was so exciting? Well, a dolphin phone. Hear the sound of the dolphins? Yes. Supposedly, according to the spokesman, everybody likes dolphins, and that's why the phone looks like a dolphin. Yes, even the interface has spinning dolphins on them. Madness. Then the second one was this little phone that basically all it allowed you to do was phone people, nothing else, looked like a credit card. That was called a Chico. Now, supposedly we won't be getting the Chico name in the UK for the fact that everybody's going, hey, it's Chico time. which would be pretty crazy. The third one was a phone that they had, which called the MB400, which looked like an iPod Classic, including the click wheel dial thing, but no touch, no actual number pad. How are you supposed to make calls on that? I don't know. Apple lawyers probably ensuing. Either way, their entire range, which is all mid-level stuff, was a sheer madness. Madness, I tell you. So there was plenty at the show that was announced and is coming very shortly. There's also quite a few things that were teased by manufacturers, just like a fair maiden at a bar not willing to put out. LG seemed to be quite good at this. They had the watch phone again, the GD910, which they showed off at CES. And again at Mobile World Congress, there was a little bit more information. You know, they can now do video on the watch phone rather than just taking calls. Microsoft also keen to tease, were happy to show their Windows 6.5 operating system for the phones with sort of interfaces but not much more, and there was a couple of handsets floating around, but they're not coming till October. You're going to have to wait quite a while for that to happen. Elsewhere, well, there was Samsung with a projector phone. Again, no real date for it, but you know, happy to show off that you could get a 50-inch projection out of a mobile phone. It seemed to be quite a current theme. You know, Sony Ericsson, for example, they 12-megapixel camera phone, entertainment unlimited, no idea when it's coming. And it's, you know, it's good and it's nice because it shows that there's lots of rumour, you know, lots of things to come and to look forward to. But it did seem for quite a few manufacturers, it was like, look at this phone for today, look at this phone for tomorrow. And I'm not sure whether the stuff for tomorrow was more exciting than the stuff for today, or maybe it was just a cunning plan to realise that actually what they've announced, well, isn't really that much cop at all. Well, that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Why don't you tune in next time for more news, reviews, tips, tricks, opinions, and much more, and our dedicated show coverage on Megawatt TV. I'm Stuart Miles. Thanks for watching.